right? The count function. This is one of the most basic, but an important functions, right? Important aggregation function. Okay. What is aggregation? In simple term, summarizing the data. Okay. Instead of displaying the data at the transaction level, you wanted to summarize the data, right? So the aggregation, summarization, these two terms are same. Remember this. But the aggregation or summarization is one of the important tasks that we perform as part of any analytics project. Don't forget this, okay? Okay, in the case of count, look here, there are 7 count functions are available in the case of DAX. Okay, so we have the family of count functions, right? The count is a family of family function. It has a family of 7 functions. The count has a family of 7 functions in it. Count function, count A, count AX, count X, count blank, and so on. What we will do is we'll explore each of these functions and understand the difference between them with some examples and use cases. Okay. First of all, what is count function, all the things. See here, for you people to understand quickly, what I did, I just categorized. I categorized the set of count functions in 2 different category. Okay, one is the excluding blanks, other one is including blanks. The count function, count A function, count X function, count AX function, these 4 function falls under this category, excluding blanks. For the sake of simplicity, I made it like this. Okay, the distinct count, count blanks, count row, these functions, it includes the blanks. For example, in a column, I have something like price column. Okay, I have something like price column. One second, sorry. In the price column, you have a price column here, something like 10.23 and 0, 2.56, and then you have blank value and 8.56. When you use the count function, these 4 set of functions, right, on this price column, it will simply ignore the blank value. For example, count function, if you count of price, how many number of values are there in the price columns, right? That is what the count function, returns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It excludes the blank value. It doesn't take into account of the blank value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 4 values, but actually we have 5 records, but the one record is having a blank value in the price column. It simply ignores this one, these set of functions, okay? Whereas this function, it will, include the blank value also. Okay. So now let us understand what is the difference between these 4 functions. These 4 functions ignores the blank values. If you have any blank value in a column, these 4 functions simply ignores the blank values. It doesn't take into account of the blank values. Then why we need 4 different functions? What are these functions do? The count function, it counts only the number of values in a numeric cell or column. It will exclude the blank values. That is what the count function does. Okay. And the other, the highlight of the count function is it works with all the data type except the Boolean data type, except Boolean, like other data types like numbers, dates, strings. You can use count function. Boolean data type, you cannot, true or false. In that kind of situation, for that kind of column, the count will not work. Next one is the count A function. As the name suggests, A, it works with all the data type, including the Boolean data type. Like count function, the count A function also exclude the blanks. It doesn't take into account of the blank values. Next one is the count X function. The count X function, like this function is somewhat similar to your count function. it works with all the data except the Boolean data type, and also it exclude the blanks. Then why we need count and countx function? If the countx function is somewhat similar to this, then why we need countx? This function, if you notice here, this function ends with x. Any function that ends with x in DAX, that is called as iterative function. 1 second, I'll just write it here. I think I made a mistake here. Press some key. So the function that ends with x are called your iterative function. 1 second, I'll just. Yeah, so that is the thing. For example, the count x function, right? The function that ends with x are called your iterative function. Okay, which means this function will evaluate the expression that is there inside the parenthesis row by row. It evaluates the expression row by row. Okay, row by row. We'll see how it works, right? Fine. But the count, apart from this, right, row by row, or apart from the iterative nature, and the rest of the things are similar to your count function. It works with all the data type except the Boolean data type, and it excludes the blank values. Okay, but it iterates row by row. Each and every row it goes and evaluates the expressions. Okay, next one is the count AX. Even this function also ends with x. Hence, it is also, even this one also called as an iterative function. But here A is there. So like count A, count AX. You just think, these two are somewhat similar. These two are somewhat similar. Okay. The count A also works with all data type, which includes the Boolean data type. And at the same time, since this function ends with x, it's an iterative function. It iterates row by row. It evaluates the expressions row by row. That's all. The count A and count X more or less same when it comes to the data type. It works with all the data type. But the x, since this function ends with x, it evaluates the expressions row by row. Count and count x are more or less same when it comes to the data type. It works with all the data type except the Boolean data type. And you exclude the data, sorry, blank values. But since the count x function ends with x, it's an iterative function. It evaluates the expression row by row. Next one is the distinct count blanks and count rows. It counts distinct values or unique values in a column, but it includes the blank values also. For example, the price, your price column, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, blank value and 5 is there. How many values are there in total? So 1, 2, 3, 4. It includes the blank values also. So distinct count will return 5 in this case. The count blanks, it counts the number of blanks in a column. So what value? Only one, right? Only one value. Sometimes you wanted to know how many number of blank values are there in the column. Okay, and the count blanks is very much helpful. The count rows function will give you the total number of records in a table. So that's all. Okay, it's a very simple one. To understand what I will do is I'll jump into the DAX. I will show you this one quickly. And where is that? The count family of functions. 1 second, I'll just count family demo. I just open this. In the interest of time, we will reuse the existing report. Otherwise, load the data again, create the measures, everything. I'll show you how to create the measure, one sample here. With that, you can understand the rest of the things.